Commercial Construction Coffee Talk fans. Thanks for chiming in. My name's David Korsh, and I'm your host. I'm also the publisher and editor of Commercial Construction Renovation magazine. If you know what it looks like, that's what it looks like, the covers. Yeah. Anyway, hope everybody had a great weekend. God, you know what I did yesterday, Sunday? Noon, watching Ohio State, University of Denver lacrosse in Columbus in the Horseshoe on the laptop, watching the game. It was dicey, I'm a Pio alum, and it's lacrosse season, and we were 3-4, dropped out of the top 20, and sure enough, they pulled it out. I think it was 14-12 yesterday, or 15-13. All I know is they won by 2 goals. We're now at 500. I think we're ranked number 18. We're back in the top 20, and league play starts. So way to go, boys! First win in the Horseshoe since they've been playing Ohio State. So way to go. Just an unbelievable win. And I'm sure all you alum out there that were watching the game like I was texting my buds, and they're like, oh my God, it's going back and forth. They're going to win. Anyway, it was great. So I love when they win, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. The ice hockey team, they're playing in Loveland. They're in the Frozen Four quarterfinals, start, I think, Thursday or Saturday up in Loveland, something like that. Anyway, a lot of stuff going on. So go boys on the frozen pond, and go Pios, next weekend as we open up league play in the Big East. Today, starting the week off, talking to another Denverite, and we're sitting here with Todd Stewart. He's the president and CEO of Sam the Concrete Man franchise, obviously construction oriented. And the reason why I wanted to have Todd on is, he's a franchisee. He's getting a pulse of all of his different, units that are out there across the country. And obviously, construction, whether it's residential, commercial, there's so many different hindrances that are going on. So we wanted to get kind of a pulse from, a construction franchisee, and, take it, have his take on what's going on in the country. So Todd, say hello to our listeners out there on Commercial Construction Coffee Talk.
David, hello. Thanks for having me very much. Appreciate the opportunity.
And I know you're Denver, and you're a lacrosse dad, so I wore my Pio colors here.
Go Pio!
Because we won. We were talking before. I said, hey, I normally I do them towards the weekend, and I have my colors on because it's going to be game day tomorrow or Sunday. And I said, now that I know your kids lacrosse, and DU ball, I got to change my shirt. So
there we go. Look, you're looking good. Looking good.
Yeah. So Todd, the way this works is we do it in 3 stages. You're going to tell your story, and then we'll talk about the last couple of years, and then we'll finish it out with a positive thought or phrase that you want to leave with our listeners. So from a lacrosse guy to lacrosse coach, 2 coaches talking. Tell us your story.
Wow. Well, thank you for that. I appreciate it very much. It's been a wild and crazy few years for us here at Sam the Concrete Man. Myself, I got out of college, went to the University of Colorado. So go Buffs. I've got to put that in there as well.
Oh, wow.
I'm a buff, but about 3 miles here from Denver University is where I live. I've followed that lacrosse team forever. My kids all play for Coach Tierney, who's the head coach there, and excited to see their season this year, and let's hope they can make the tournament. So that's exciting stuff, and I just love it. And thanks for the opportunity. So when I got out of college,
what did you study at CU?
I was an economics major.
Me too.
Yeah. Look at us.
Unbelievable. 2
peas in the pods, but you're better looking than I ever hoped to be, David.
Hey, people are like, you're an econ major. You should become a politician or, a lawyer, or that's what the economics guy gets. I'm like, I really, look, I was lacrosse, hockey, and ski bump, when
there you have it. Right. And so, I got out of school, started looking around, and, found myself in the technology field. So I ended up being basically a traveling sales guy for high-tech technology companies. And while that provides a fantastic living on occasion, it's a grind. It truly is a battle to get up every Sunday to get on a plane to work Monday through Friday, to get back on a plane, to get back home for a day, maybe a day and a half, to get back on a plane and head back out again. And I was fortunate to meet my wife in college. We've been together for over 30 years now, and we have 4 beautiful kids. And so being gone 5 days a week was obviously stressful on her, stressful on the family. And at the end of the day, I'm a family man. I love my family, love being around my kids, and absolutely could not stand watching my kids grow up without me. It pains me every day. And so at some point I had the opportunity to start looking around, found a small mom and pop driveway and parking lot concrete company here in town in 2007 called Sam the Concrete Man. And what it did provide for me was an opportunity to get off the road, get off of airplanes, and watch my kids grow up. And for me, that was the most important thing. And so I ended up buying Sam the Concrete Man from the legendary Sam Wilkins, who actually started the business in 1989. And so it had been in business for, close to 15 years or so, coming up on 20, I suppose, at the time. And I bought the company. In 2013, I started looking around to see what else I could do with this small little concrete business that I owned, and started finding out that a lot of ancillary products. So if you're in the construction business in the concrete space, there's really 3 things. There's foundation repair when you're talking about the service industry. There's flat work, which is where we specialize, which would be outdoor living spaces, patios, foyers for hotel rooms, parking lots, things along those lines. And then there's a product called lift concrete lifting, concrete raising, or in the slang terms, it's called mud jacking as well. And what I found was that just about every company in Denver that was in the concrete lifting and raising business were all franchises. And so I started looking around the foundation repair and stabilization side of the business, and they were all franchises. And so sweat slowly dripped down my brow, thinking, oh no, here they come. They're all going to be in this business sooner or later, and I better get my act together to protect my territory. So by then, we were a good 25 years into the business here in Denver. We had a very strong name. We did very well because we provide quality products at a fair price. And it turns out that there's absolutely no one in this franchising business for both commercial and residential flat work or concrete. And so I said, what the heck? Scrambled together a few shekels and started franchising. And when we started franchising, we actually decided to open, in my infinite wisdom, company or corporate owned stores, whereby when we opened a location, say Kansas City or Columbus, St. Louis, Cincinnati, and up by 2017, we had 14 locations, all owned by the corporation, Sam the Concrete Man.
They were corporation stores.
They were all company owned stores. And so what I found myself, David, is here I am back to where I was before, traveling every day of the week, going out and managing these stores. And really, for me, it came down to customer service and quality. Well, pretty hard to provide that customer service and quality in Denver, Colorado for a location in Columbus, Ohio, where the Denver Pioneers just won a lacrosse game. When you have someone who may be an employee who really doesn't care about your customer. They weren't doing on weekends. They weren't following up on calls. They really didn't care. And so really for us, that customer service piece was lacking. We really wanted to have partners that had skin in the game. And in 2019, converted a couple stores to franchises, but mostly shut them down. And so we ended 2019 with 6 locations, 4 here in Colorado, 2 in Denver, Fort Collins and Colorado Springs, and 2 others, Kansas City and St. Louis, and really went to the full franchising model. Came into contact with some folks out of a company in Waco, Texas, that is now called Neighborly. They're one of the largest franchise holders in the world. They're owned by a private equity firm, KKR, that just bought it for $3.3 billion. So it's real business for them.
Yeah, those are big numbers.
Big numbers. Obviously, we're just a small piece, but some of the guys were coming out of Neighborly through that acquisition. I was able to pick them up from a franchise development standpoint and from an advisory standpoint within the business. And so we started 2020 with 6 locations. We now have 79 locations 2 years
Oh,
later.
wow, nice.
Yes, so we are one of the fastest growing construction franchise companies in the country. We're the only flat work concrete franchise in the world. And we're excited to say that if you look at number of locations, number of jobs completed, in certain aspects of it, we're the largest concrete company in the US. So it's exciting. We'll do over 5,000 jobs a year. We get over 50,000 call-ins for people that wanting to look at our products and services a year. And we're growing at a very, very rapid rate because of just a few key ingredients, right? The first ingredient is we have to have quality. We have to have the best quality products. We're only going to use high quality materials. We're only going to put the right mud, if you will, in the ground. And we're going to make sure that when we design and engineer, whether that's a parking lot, whether that's a loading dock, whether that's an entry or a foyer for a bank building, sidewalks for a strip mall, and even residential stuff, whether that's a driveway, a patio, or a walkway, we're going to design that and engineer that to last a lifetime and only use those high quality materials. Second thing for us is technology. We use technology throughout everything that we do, from how we interface with potential customers, how we generate our proposals, how we do follow-ups, how we book that job, how we execute from a project management that job, and in the retail space, how we go ahead and get that customer review and get that posted back online. So we use technology and it permeates through everything that we do. And it really does give us a competitive advantage when we go out to market and we talk to a project manager or a building owner that has a particular need, that wants a turnaround on a particular project. That technology, Ed, gives us an advantage when we go to sign up and get a partnership with a particular organization, and whether that's retail or residential or commercial. And the third piece is our people. Our people take great pride in ownership, whether that's our franchisees who actually own that particular territory, or our internal organization that makes phone calls, does follow-ups, does some proposals, manages that technology. Our people are fantastic. And so it's been a truly exciting run for us over the last couple of years. And we see this, the sky's the limit. If we continue to stick to the knitting and provide quality products and service for our customers, we feel we have a competitive advantage. To give you an idea, David, we're the only concrete company in the world that offers live chat on our website. We're the only concrete company in the world that you can pick up the phone 24/7. It could be Christmas Eve at 2 a.m. and you get a live body. And the reason is that's because that's what our customers want. And at the end of the day, we're here to provide a service for our customers when it's in need from the customers. When they want it, we need to be available. And so we put the technologies and systems in place to be unique. And it's returned quality for our customers and an ever-growing business here at Sam the Concrete Man that we could be not be more excited about our future, as well as what we've accomplished in the past.
Todd, listen, I walk World of Concrete every year. Well, before the pandemic, but regardless, every year, big boy toys and all that stuff. So you were telling me you were the only concrete company out there, 24/7, 365, that if I called on Christmas Eve at 2 a.m., like you said, I wouldn't find another company who does that?
Yes, sir. That's our understanding. We've tried it. We've tested it. We've asked around. We've hired industry analysts and experts. And we believe we're the only ones in the world that are doing that. We also believe we're the only ones in the US offering live chat on our website for our customers as well. We understand and know that we have to be available when our customers need us, when our customers want to communicate, connect with us about their commercial and residential construction projects. We need to be available when they need us to be. And so we do things a little bit differently here, and that has contributed to our success and certainly the growth of our company.
Customer service is key in anything. I don't care, what it is, whether you're a lacrosse coach or, signage, concrete, whatever it might be. You got to be available, especially these days, because time is money.
That's right.
Wow, that's awesome. So
Yeah, I mean, in addition to it, not to keep
no,
going on about how great we are, you can contact us via text and communicate completely via text with us if you'd like to. So it's not just the platform of picking up the phone or getting on the website. We are going to create avenues for our customers to communicate with us in real time, however it's most important for them. So these are the types of technological innovations that we've made that differentiates us in the business and truly creates a disruptive model that we think we have, and will continue to drive towards.
so commercial construction coffee talk fans out there, customer service. Here's a real live being, man, that lives and breathes it every day. So, and so do I. I mean, listen, if I ever, even if, I'm in publishing. So if the ad runs wrong, even if it's not my fault, to be honest with you, I just do the make good. I don't even, I'd rather beat someone to the punch, say, hey, you know what? We caught a typo in your ad. I'm going to rerun it. Even though it was your gig, I'm still going to do it. Customers are golden these days. They're too tough to cap. So whatever you need to do, but hey, he said he's 24/7, 365. I'm going to check it out. I hope you guys do too, because I believe in this guy. He's a lacrosse coach, and listen, they say what they mean. Hey, I'm going to beat you. Because I believe in my team. So
there you go.
Well, listen, when I was in Denver in the 80s, downtown was empty. It was a bunch of buildings because the oil boom had just happened. No one was down there. There were about 3 bars down on Larimer Square, and now the city's just exploded. Mile High was still there. The Colorado Rockies were. It was the Denver Zephyrs. The Rockies hadn't even come into town. They had a hockey team, but people used to wear bags to the games. Everybody used to go to DU. If they want to see good hockey.
Oh, and the bank was Silverado. Remember those days, right?
And but now it's exploded. So much construction has happened.
Yes.
And obviously, when the pandemic started, the bug came on shores in 2020 of March. I'm sure Denver still had a ton of construction going on. Everybody was booming, cranes on top, low unemployment. I mean, it was just booming. And then,
yes,
but now 24 months later, we're coming all out of it. There's light at the end of the tunnel, but we've got inflation, there's supply shortage, all those other things that are hindering stuff. But talk about how your franchisees, and even yourself kind of dealing with, being shut down, or depending on what state you were, with the different regulations and getting jobs done, how you dealt with that, and as we move forward into Q2 in 2022.
Sure. So, the first thing that was very nice about the business we have in our business models is we were deemed an essential business. So we actually did not shut down at all during the pandemic. And because most of our applications for what we do are outside of the building, outside of the home, it really did provide an avenue for us to keep working. What we saw was a bit of a shift when it came to how we worked and what we did, right? So if you take a look at the commercial space, and I'll use an example, we have a customer that's a national hotel chain. They were obviously struggling, but what they did do was take the time to renovate the areas that they could renovate because of the slow time, or even shut down in a lot of hotel cases, to retrofit and retrograde their existing hotels. And so what that meant for us is we saw a pickup in demand for this renovation, if you will, of outdoor living spaces, not just in residential for a homeowner that now can work from home, who is not going on, vacations, that's not spending money at dinner, who's not going to season tickets to the Colorado Rockies or the Atlanta Braves, if you will. And so that discretionary use of money came back in the form of, how can I increase the value of my home? How can I enhance the quality of my life through outdoor living spaces? The hotel chains, the commercial space, did the exact same thing. What do people want? Well, they wanted more outdoor living spaces. They wanted more gazebo area, fire pit area, barbecuing area. So what we saw was our commercial customers, hotel chains and alike, took that time, and because market and interest rates were so low, they had an opportunity to deploy that capital and really retrofit their hotels, retrofit their apartment buildings to provide that quality of life that people wanted, that user experience, whether that's a hotel guest or a tenant in an apartment building or a single family homeowner. So what we saw is a bit of a shift from your standard straight gray concrete, if you will, to a lot more decorative, a lot more intricate, a lot more outdoor living designs with colors and stamps and stone and all of these things. So what we did is we spun up a program around those retrofitting, around that renovation, that allows us to capture more of that market and truly shift into what the customer wanted. And at the end of the day, that's really all that matters. What the customer wants is what we are dedicated and designed to give them. And so we'll continue to change, whether that's technology evolution, whether that's new products and services, whether it's existing products and services. Like, over the last 10 years, a lot of companies are going away from steel reinforcement in concrete, and they're going with a fiber matrix mesh. And these days, we're actually seeing a fiber rebar in place of steel rebar, and a lot of reasons for it. So we'll continue to use technology. We'll continue to evolve as the trade continues to evolve, and most importantly, how the customer evolves the demand that they want. We hope to be there and do that with them and for them, and continue to grow as they require quality concrete services.
The hospitality was a really excellent example, because so many hotels had shut down. And believe it or not, the news wasn't talking about it, but I have enough hotel chains that read our magazine that would tell me, hey, I'm putting in new carpet, I'm putting in new fixtures, and they don't have to worry about doing it floor by floor. They didn't have to worry about their customers being woken up by jackhammers and all that stuff. They were all doing that stuff behind the scenes. So at least the smart ones were. So when it came time to open, they had a new offering. It might have been the same location, but it was like, wow, look what they did.
New hotel.
Under the radar.
Yep.
So, it's amazing that you said that.
We see it. We saw it. I mean, it was a part of our growth. It was a part of how we were able to position our company and really establish foothold as, the only franchise, but the largest network of concrete providers across our 79 or so franchises, to able to deliver not just locally, but also a national footprint, which is very difficult to find a national concrete company across the country. And we're going to operate in 38 states. So it does give us some depth. It does give us some breadth in order to solve problems for more national companies, larger construction projects that are going to span multiple cities, multiple states, so on and so forth.
My wife's an interior designer, so she's doing a lot. I mean, there's so many people that are working on their homes, in light commercial, and it's just booming right now.
It's crazy.
And It's crazy. You just can't find, she's like, I got to take a break. I'm getting burnt, and everybody's, jockeying for her subs and, for other stuff. And it's, it goes across the board. So, just one last thing, as we're moving into Q2 and the rest of 22, it looks very positive on your front, as far as construction and so forth.
Oh my goodness, we can't keep up, and the only way we can keep up is to continue to stay ahead of that game and provide those quality services through getting the right people in the right place at the right time. And we acknowledge and understand that the customer is going to come first, and that we have to be there and available when they need us there and be available for us. And so we continue to work on that every day and work hard to provide those services for our customers. And we think the sky's the limit, and we're just excited about the future.
Awesome. So if you were going to leave our listeners out there, Commercial Construction Coffee Talk, out on the web, with one positive thought or phrase, what would it be?
Well, I'm not a spring chicken anymore at 54 years old, and for those that can't see me, the gray balding head, you'll know that it's not my first rodeo. But I've raised 4 children, been with my wife for 30 years. I've run multiple businesses, owned Sam the Concrete Man since 2007. I keep going back to 2 fundamental things that have always worked for me my entire life. I share them with everyone that I work with, whether that's another franchisee, someone here in the office, my kids, family, and friend. And that's really, if you do 2 things, things generally work out. And the first is being honest. If you're an honest person to yourself, if you're honest with yourself and those around you, things generally have the tendency to work out properly in the long run, right? And so being honest. And the second is there's no substitute for hard work. So if you're honest and you're hardworking, generally people are going to understand that. They're going to gravitate to that. And you're just a natural leader because people want to be around that and people want to be near that. So I preach that every day. It's how I live my life. It's how everyone around me tries to live their life as well. And generally that seems to work out. So if I could leave everyone with those two things to think about when you get up in the morning, am I going to be honest with myself? Am I going to be honest with those around me? And I'm going to put my best foot forward and work hard. I think it's going to be a good day.
Tell the truth. You got nothing to hide.
That's it.
It's just the way it is. And, hard and smart work pays off. My family worked, my grandfather was a combat engineer underneath Patton in WW2. Anyway, on my mom's side, the family contracting business, demolition, steel recycling since 1888. So we're like
Wow.
fifth generation, still in business
Holy
today,
cow.
over 125 years old. My cousins are running the business. But when, just a short little story, when you're 16 and outside in Pennsylvania, get your license. So all the boys, when we grew up, sit down dinners, very, very, can I be excused? All that stuff. But when you're 16, you had to spend your summer to get your driver's license. You had to spend your summer in the steel yard. So, I dug ditches, laid railroad tracks, shoveled asbestos, so, that whole gig of hard work, even though, I look back, did I want to be in that suit in 110 degrees and, in Philly inside some building, being the hose man, keeping the dust off guys? But it kind of shaped me who I am today.
Absolutely does.
As well as on the lacrosse field, or on the ice or Taekwondo. You're always learning. The day you stop learning, the day you should go do something else. If you're not having fun, go do something else. And I can totally relate to your beginning story. I was a million miler, and since when the bug came in, I hadn't traveled like in 2 years. I've gone virtual. I miss seeing my buds, but do I miss getting on a plane? No. I can get so many things done virtually, and I've embraced technology. And it's people are like, hey, what do you? I'm like, I'm being honest. I really don't know if I'm going to go back to that stuff because I like where I'm at right now. And look at us. I would have to fly out and interview you. My whole thing when I was going to do these podcasts before the bug came, I was going to go do interviews on the construction sites and tape them there.
Hey, David, you're welcome here anytime. Come on out. Let's go do a lacrosse game together and we'll talk concrete.
Yeah. Hey, listen, if DU wins the national championship again, which is going to be pretty tough because Maryland's sitting in the way, in my opinion.
Come on now. Positive thoughts.
But regardless, if they make it there, I'm coming out for that alumni game again.
I'll be right beside you, cheering them on.
Yeah. If someone wanted to get in touch with you, Todd, to rack your brain or ask you to become a franchise, how would they reach out to you?
Yeah, so the best way to reach us would be go ahead and get online, whether that's your phone, your laptop, what have you. SamTheConcreteMan.com. From there, you can use the phone to pick up and call your local franchise. You can send an email to us. We'll get back to you almost immediately. You can send a text, live chat. In any way that you are interested in any type of commercial, residential concrete work, we'd love to talk to you about it. On the residential and commercial side, it's a free estimate. We've been in business 33 years. We've done over 30,000 jobs. We have a 99% customer satisfaction rate. We guarantee and warranty all of our work. We are different. We are better. Give us a chance to prove it, and we'd very much appreciate that opportunity. SamTheConcreteMan.com.
I know you're an honest man because there's not one business on this planet that has 100% satisfaction. There's always going to be someone that's not going to like you. It doesn't matter who you are or how good of a job you did. There's always someone that's going to be a naysayer. Am I right?
There's no question about that. And all we can do is do our best, understand where they're coming from, and try to make it right in their eyes, whether it's right or not. We will always try to do that. Always try to do that. But, we'll get someone who gave us a bad phone number and then give us a bad review because we weren't able to call them right away. And so those things are going to happen. We just have to apologize profusely, try to make it right in their eyes. And again, it comes back to honesty and hard work. And that will never fail. That will never fail. That is tried and true. That is as strong as the foundation that your home is built on. And so that's how we live our life. That's how we've built Sam the Concrete Man. And that's why we are going to try to take care of every customer we have.
There you have it, Commercial Construction Coffee Talk fans. Hey, hard work and honesty. So Sam's the man in Denver, out by the tech center. If any of you want to reach me, you can get me at davidc@ccr-mag.com. Up on the toolbar, if you're not a subscriber, hit that. We'd love to send you the magazine. New issues coming out at the end of next week. We send it out to 125,000 people. And if you have any cool projects, I always say, if you don't buy a ticket for the lottery, you can't win. If you don't send me something, I can't post it or whatever. You know how I met Sam? His publicist sent me a press release. That's how I met him. And I was like, wow, I got to have this person on. Did I know he was a lacrosse guy? No, I found out before we did the recording. We were touching base. But that's how I found him. They sent me something. And I was like, oh, this would be a really good person to have on here. So I look at everything, people out there. So send me stuff. We'll find a place for you. Magazine, social media, the podcast, wherever. We'll find a place for it. And I reply to everybody. So davidc@ccr-mag.com. Send me a note or a cool project or whatever you have, and we'll see if we can help you. Well, Todd, this has been an awesome conversation. And
thanks for having me.
I normally we used to do a cocktail party every month, but I always would do Denver in the summer. And or in the early fall, when it was nice before the cold came in the winter, but I was a ski bum. So you know how it is, but I'm going to bring my cocktail parties back. So, I pretty much had done every one down there, downtown, but regardless, when I come back, I'm going to meet you in person. And I'm going to bring my lacrosse stick and I want to shoot on your kid, because his son's a goalie. So
let him have it. Let him have it. He needs all the work he can get.
Yeah.
David, thank you for having me. I appreciate the opportunity to introduce my company, introduce our brand, and hopefully I do look forward to meeting you someday live and in person.
Thank you so much for the time. For all you out there, have a positive week ahead. Let's close out Q1 on a positive note and roll on through the rest of the year. It's an exciting year. There's so much stuff going on in the world today. I mean, everything changes by the minute. It's an exciting time in construction, and it's only going to get better. You just kind of have to roll with the punches. It's kind of like it's a boxing match. Or it's a lacrosse game. It's early. It's exciting. It's back and forth. You just don't know what but it's going to be fun to watch. So everybody out there, keep the faith and stay positive, and honesty and hard work.
There it is.
There's the message. So Todd, pleasure. And for all you out in Commercial Construction Coffee Talk, we will see you next time on another episode. Talk to you soon. See you, Todd. Great meeting you.
Thank you.
You bet.